Spinning. You are live. Hooray.
Yay.
All right. My first time broadcasting on Facebook.
I guess technically second for me, but I wasn't around very much for the last time.
I was going to say, I'm like, I don't think it feels any different than doing it any other way.
No.
I can't tell. But hello, anyone. I guess the only thing I can't tell if anyone's actually here or not. I don't see like how many people are here or things like that. So if you are here, say hello in the comments underneath the video somewhere.
Actually, at the top where it says live, there's like a little eye. So we have some people watching. Hello.
Oh, there is. Yes, 2 people. Cool. 3 people. Hey, people are coming in. Good morning, everyone. If you're in the morning still, it's 11 a.m. here in Toronto on a nice cold and snowy day. Actually, well, we got a fair bit of snow. Did you get snow?
I don't think we got snow.
Yeah, it's a little chilly this morning trying to get the little guy ready to go out in the car, and he didn't want to, and yeah, it was fun. All right. We will give it a minute or two to see if anybody else wants to join in, and then we're just going to have a nice quick webinar this week for you, just on some high level of restricting access by location and then assigning to people. They're both pretty simple concepts, so don't think it'll take too long to really go over, but they were things that people had been asking for, so hopefully they're helping everyone out.
Yeah. All right, we do have a few people. I'm actually just going to put a post in the main group, just because with our streaming platform, we can't see everyone's names. So for us to see your name, we just need you to like enable a permission.
Cool. Kerisha's got all the knowledge on how these ones work. She had the task of figuring out how this platform and stuff like that works. So that way. Oh, there we go. Yeah. So if you click that link, then you can go in and let us see your name just to say hi and everything. And again, you can post comments and stuff like that in the spot somewhere on the screen. I don't know exactly where it is.
Yeah, it's a blue button that says let streamer see your Facebook Live comments.
There you go. Cool.
And then your name and picture will be available for us to see, and then that's it.
And that's it.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Maybe give it one more minute or so, and then we can jump on in. Hopefully everyone's having a good morning so far, or afternoon, or evening, depending where you are. It's 11 a.m. here.
It's almost lunchtime.
Almost lunchtime. I can't believe how close it is to Christmas too. Like, it's sneaking up on me. I think staying inside all the time is really throwing off everything.
Yeah, I agree. Because I so many times I just didn't realize we're like it's already December, and then now, yeah, so close to Christmas.
10 days.
It's just crazy.
Days, yeah.
So crazy.
Although that means 2020 is almost over. Can everyone give a clap for that? Hopefully 2021 will bring in some nicer things. And
yeah.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I think we're good. So again, hi everyone. My name is Philip. If you haven't seen me before, I've been on a couple webinars, but I'm on the community and support team here at inFlow. I am joined by the lovely Kerisha,
hi,
who is also on the support team, and Luke. Hey, Luke. Yeah, we see you in here. Thank you very much for joining. Was the following, like the link and stuff in there tough? We're looking for feedback on this. One person in our company wanted to switch over to doing the webinars on Facebook, try and do it on here live and everything like that, and because they were having some issues with the old platform, and so we're kind of having growing pains with it. We're not sure whether we like it or not. So any feedback from any of you would be great. Definitely leave it in the comments there, and we can take it back to the team so we can hopefully make a decision if we should switch back to another platform or something like that too.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't in your video comments, but now it is. Okay.
I see. Good to know. So we might have to repost that at different times for different people who join. All right.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I guess maybe it's only there if you were in at the beginning or something like that or whatever. But okay. Yeah, that's good to know. Thank you, Luke.
Mhm.
And hello. So yeah, this should be a fairly quick webinar. This one's just meant to high level kind of go over restrict access by location and how you can assign users to things like sales orders and purchase orders and stuff like that. These were both features that had been highly requested. And so a while back we were able to add them. I think they were both this year actually. And so hopefully they're straightforward enough and everything, but if you have questions, definitely leave it in here and we'll be happy to go through it. So today, yeah, we're going to go over assign to and restrict access by location. The first one we'll go over is how to assign people to your orders. This is, again, for anyone joining us only on inFlow Cloud. inFlow on-premise does not have these kinds of features. But with the assign to feature, you can actually assign users, so any of your team members that you've already got signed up on your cloud account. So depending on how many you have in there, you'll have a different amount. You can assign them to sales orders, purchase orders, quotes, work orders, count sheets, and stock transfers. Now, the number of things that you can assign them to will be slightly different based on which of the three web cloud platforms you're using. Sorry. So on the Windows desktop app, which has access to things like work orders and count sheets, you have the ability to assign users to there. With the web app and the mobile app, unfortunately, since they don't have those abilities at the moment, you won't see that option. But you can always still, if somebody has access to the Windows desktop program, can go into it and then assign them that way. And so we can quickly show this off. Again, it's pretty straightforward. Here I've got my cloud account set up for the webinar here. You can see I've actually got 2 team members on here. So me and Kerisha. And if I pull it up in the web, or sorry, in the desktop app as well, you can see. So I'll go into my sales order list. Now that we've added this assign to feature, there's actually a new column in here. So you'll see with the little person, the little icon there, if you hover over it, it'll say assign to. This will show up in pretty much any of the spots where you can actually do it. So like in your purchase orders, you can see there as well too. Again, your count sheets, your stock transfers, anything like that. By default, they will be blank. So like you can see this first purchase order here, there's nothing in there. And this is, again, how it will kind of just show up originally. Once you click into it though, there's going to be this new spot assigned to up here on the top right. Again, you can hover over it and it'll give you a little tooltip saying this team member responsible for this purchase order. So simple as that. To assign somebody to it, you just click on the little drop down. It's going to give you a list. Again, this list is going to be the users or the team members that you have assigned to your account. So if you have 10 team members in here, you'll see each one and it's going to show the name that you have assigned to them here. So if I edit my profile or anything like that, this display name is going to be the one that's showing up there. So in this case, I've got myself, and it tries to be helpful and tell me that this is me. So if you have people with the same name, you can differentiate between the 2 people. And then I've got Kerisha. So if I wanted to assign this purchase order to Kerisha, I would just click her name, hit save. And now we'll notice that in the purchase order column that it's actually updated and there's now a K underneath that little assign to icon. And this way, it's now assigned to Kerisha so that she can easily filter and find any orders and things like that that are assigned to her. So essentially, you also have this new search filter. So assigned to, in here, you can then click off whoever you're trying to find the orders for. So if I was coming into work in the morning or something like that, and I wanted to see what orders I had I was responsible for, I could assign to myself, and then I can filter with any other options as normal. So like if I wanted unfulfilled or unpaid or things like that. And then this way I can see, so PT, these are going to be the ones that are actually assigned to me. What's the primary purpose of assigning? That's a great question. Essentially, the main point of it is really just being able to almost add like a label or like a tag onto these orders so that, again, you can kind of, I guess, like categorize or separate the orders based on what team member might be actually working on them. I have had some customers who use it almost in like a step-by-step process. So like one person will make a sales quote. They'll then assign it to another person on their team who will convert it to an order and do anything that they need to with it then. And then they may assign it to somebody else to actually like fulfill it. And then essentially having that label on there, again, just gives you that option that you can very quickly and easily filter your list again to only the orders assigned to those people.
And also helps with picking sales orders too. Like if there's a big list, you may not know who's already picked what or who's about to pick a certain sales order. So it just kind of keeps everything organized.
Yep, that's a fantastic point. And so while we're still in the desktop app, one other thing that you can quickly get is under the sales order list and purchase order list and stuff, we've added like a new quick option where you can actually click orders that are assigned to me. This will automatically put your name into the assigned to filter to give you just the ones that have been assigned to you. Again, you can always clear that out if you want to see everything. And you'll still see the initials under the assigned to field there. But that just gives you a really quick way to kind of pull that up. If you're using the web app, so either in like a web browser, if you're on like a Mac or something like that, it's going to work exactly the same way. Right beside the order number and status, you'll have a little icon for each person that they're assigned to, so you can easily hover over and see which people are assigned to them. And there's an assign to button, so again, like if I wanted to assign to myself or check the assigned to ones here, I can easily do that. And to assign to somebody in the web app, it's still in the same spot. It's just this little person icon that you can just click on. That'll pop up, and again, it'll give you a list of all the team members that you have on your account, so you can choose them again. You can also search if you do have, say, a lot of users or something like that. Oh, sorry, this is searching by email, so it's going to find both of them. Yeah, so you can filter it, assign, and then once you've got them on there, just remember to save your order, and that will update it, and you'll have the icon showing on there.
Awesome.
Cool. I'm glad that makes sense. If anyone else has any other questions about it or anything, definitely leave them in the comments down below, and we can definitely get to that. But this will, unfortunately, I don't have it able to show on here. You have the same options on the mobile app as well, so it'll look very similar to the web app here, where you have a little icon like this that you can click on to assign somebody to, and in the mobile app again, then you can filter to check only the ones that like you're assigned to or something like that too. Again, hopefully just making things like fulfilling or picking or stuff like that faster.
Awesome. I was going to try to see if I could load onto my phone, but my phone is, I think it needs to be restarted. Just my phone itself is a little bit slow today.
So yeah.
All right.
So our next topic then was restrict access by location. So this one, just as a quick note, is included with the plus plans only right now. This kind of comes into almost like a security feature that a lot of people had been kind of requesting. The high level, I guess, idea behind this is if you want to be able to limit what locations people can actually see or interact with, so your team members, I could think of like a few examples, like maybe you're in like a retail environment or something and you have multiple retail stores and you don't want store A, like in Toronto or something, to be seeing like store B in Montreal's inventory or something like that, or you don't want them to be editing their sales orders or purchase orders or things like that. You can actually now restrict which locations people actually have access to, and this is going to be a change that will take across the entire program. So this one can be a little confusing just in the sense of what information you might be seeing once you first kind of set it up, but it is fairly straightforward, so we'll try and kind of just go over that with you here. So I put in here just kind of a few things that you want to remember when you do restrict things from users. Anybody who does not have access to all locations can no longer edit, create locations, or like modify or remove them, even if they have administration purposes or privileges. Sorry. This is again just kind of like a fail-safe, I guess, because they don't have access to all locations. We don't want them to be able to, by accident, like add a duplicate location, or again, be trying to like remove locations that perhaps they don't have access to or something like that. So only users that have access to all locations can make those changes. If you do filter somebody, or sorry, restrict somebody by location, anywhere that they would then select a location is now going to default to my locations, and I'll show you that in a quick minute. But essentially, what the new filter, instead of all locations, my locations will be showing them every single location that they have access to. The only exception on this is that stock transfers in the Windows program will allow you to see all locations, because you should be able to make like a stock transfer requesting, I guess, like inventory from a different location. However, if you don't have access to that location, you won't be able to complete it. So you can create it and set it to that location you don't have access, but you won't be able to complete it. Somebody with access to that location will have to complete it. Okay. So the next thing on here, team members will not be able to see any record associated with a location that they do not have access to, or if it does not have a location assigned to it. So I think the biggest thing on here is the point where if it doesn't have a location assigned, so by default, most of the locations in the past would not have had a default location. This year, earlier, when we set up the reorder, the new reorder changes to the system where you could reorder by location, we kind of updated that, and now like your sales orders will by default have a location assigned to them, your purchase orders, your count sheets, everything like that. But ones in the past wouldn't have had that. So just keep in mind that if the order does not have a location assigned to it, somebody who cannot see all locations will not be able to see that. Another quick couple things just to note: the person won't have access to the dashboard, or things like historical inventory report, team member tracking report, product cost, and estimated inventory duration report. These are, again, just kind of reports where we aren't able to show the information that's needed without being able to kind of like restrict which location they're looking at. So unfortunately, it's just not available. And kind of finally, the last thing that I would point out is that once you've restricted somebody's location, they're going to only see quantity based on the locations that they have available to them, which means if I have access to all locations and Kerisha only has access to a couple locations, if we look at the same product in the system, she may see a different inventory amount than what I actually see, because we're now adding up kind of two different values there. So just keep that in mind again too, because I know sometimes that could get confusing if you're expecting to see one number and you're seeing a different. So with that in mind, we can kind of just quickly go through and show you what that looks like. So first, to set it up, because right now both accounts on mine have access to all locations, you log into the web app at app.inflowinventory.com, and when you go under your account settings, this is where you see all your team members. So in here, if I wanted to restrict Kerisha's access in here, you would just hit edit on the team member. This is where you're able to set up the restrictions based on ability in the program as well too. So like if I didn't want them to be able to edit sales orders or something like that too, then then you can also come in here. But we've added this new function right here, so location access. So right now you can see she has access to all locations. If I just click this little arrow, it's going to come up. It's going to show me a list of my locations. And here you can then actually modify which ones she has access to. So if I say uncheck my House of Energy location here, I click save. It's now going to have done that. And if I go back in here, you'll see she only has access right now to 3 locations. So you can always come back in here. You can always edit it and update it based off of whatever you need. But right now, her account no longer has access to the House of Energy location. So let's just take a quick look. If I pull up my sales order, you can see that I've got the first couple orders on here. So like sales order 28 and 27 are both assigned the location of House of Energy. I can see these because this right now is logged in under my account, but in this browser, I'm logged in under Kerisha's account here. So if I go to the sales order list, she's not seeing sales order 28 or 27 or any of these older ones, which if I open this up again, you'll see again, like things like 24, 23, 22, 21, all of these don't have a location assigned to them. So these were created before our reorder by location. And so I don't have a location assigned onto them. So she's not seeing any of those. She's only seeing the ones that she was actually has permission to view. Again, now kind of just to compare something else, if I go under customers, each customer you can actually set up a default location for as well. So in here I've got the Flash, Barry Allen. His default location is set to House of Energy. If I go in under Kerisha's account and I look at the customers, you'll notice that Barry Allen is not in this list. So because his location is not, his default location is set to one that's not part of her active locations that she can view, it's no longer in there.
Yeah. And also it's for some of our customers, sometimes there would be quantity coming when they're fulfilling their sales orders would come out of the wrong locations. So by having this all set up, you pretty much eliminate that problem because they can only fulfill from certain locations that they have permissions from.
Exactly. And so, yeah, so just to quickly show too, if we go into location, again, in here, she's only able to see the locations she has assigned to her, so she's not able to see any the House of Energy that she wasn't. And just kind of going back to that that situation that I was telling you about, if we go to say like one of my Rockstar products here. So right now she's seeing a quantity on hand of 44 and default location has 44 in stock. If I look at that on mine, so I'm actually seeing a quantity. Sorry, there's no easy. There we go. Put it like that. So she's seeing a quantity on hand of 44. I'm actually seeing a quantity on hand of 49 because I'm seeing the 5 that are also in the House of Energy stock. So again, this is just kind of the things that you want to keep in mind in case you're having or running into any of these issues. This does also mean that like if she were to be creating like a sales order, when you're putting in the actual product itself, so if I'm looking in here, I'll be able to see how much stock is on hand. So I'm seeing globally, I've got 49. If she were to create a sales order and we put in the same thing, it's only going to be giving the amount that she can actually see. So again, quantity on hand is only showing 44, not the 49. So different users will be able to see different amounts based on which locations that they are allowed access to. And yeah, so I think that's the main things with the restrict access by location, as well as the assign to. I'm not sure, did anyone have other questions in there? I know I saw some comments going back, but Kerisha was dutifully answering them already. So
I don't think anything yet for assign to. So far, I think we were just getting some feedback on the mobile app and the scanner.
sure.
But yeah, if anyone else has any questions, like feel free to add them to the comments. We can just answer them while we're here. The lightning webinars are pretty much just like 30 minutes or so. So we definitely have a couple more minutes that we can use for answering questions.
Yeah, for sure. As I said at the beginning, I know these are fairly straightforward things, and again, we have, especially with the restriction, a really great knowledge base article that if you go onto our support site under the how do I restrict what my team members can do and access, in this article itself, we go over again kind of all the different things. So restrict access by location. So all the different things, what people can see, what they can't. So kind of which areas we break down of the program that they will or won't be able to view. So just keep that in mind too. If you do have further questions, our knowledge base is always available too, and we try and keep this as up to date as possible. So hopefully it should have the answers for anyone that needs it.
Okay, great. Yeah, I guess we could just wait a couple more minutes, but overall, I think because everything was pretty straightforward, there may not be any questions right now.
Perfect. Always good. What I like to hear, nice and
Everything makes
smooth.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Looks like there's no more questions, so I guess we could maybe just end it early.
Okay.
And if anything, anyone could always leave comments after this. We always do try to check the group page after. Oh, there's another one that just came in. Can you restrict discounts? Oh, I don't.
Unfortunately, no. I don't believe that's not an option to be able to restrict in sales right now. You can only restrict customers, sales orders themselves, whether they can create them or be able to pick them and stuff like that, and then the actual prices themselves. Unfortunately, discounts is not one though. So we will definitely take that feedback back to our team. We kind of record all of that and we record it. We then try and use that towards like making changes to the program in the future. So if I set a customer 10% discount in their account, can we disable that salesperson can edit it? I mean, you can make it so that customers can only view, or sorry, that users can only view customers, that they can't like change them. So that would be possible. The only thing, essentially, so when you set that discount on there, you're setting a pricing scheme on a customer. So technically, if the user has access to the sales order to be able to edit sales orders, they would be able to change that pricing scheme in the sales order itself. So I mean, they would have to be physically going in and trying to make that change, kind of thing. But yeah, unfortunately, you wouldn't be able to completely stop them if they're able to still make the sales order.
But that's a good question, and I definitely have already passed that on to the team.
Cool. Thank you for that, Brian. We appreciate that. That's a fantastic question and fantastic feedback too. So yeah, we'll definitely take that back to everyone.
All right. Is there any other questions? I don't think so. Oh, where can we request feature requests for inFlow? Actually, generally, anytime you speak to the inFlow team, so whether you could just email us at support@inflowinventory.com or the contact us section of our website, if there's an email form there too. And then as soon as you get in touch with one of us or send us an email, we do log everything in our feedback database.
Yeah, and we try to be as open as we can, kind of in the company itself. So we share all this kind of feedback with our entire team, and like our co-founders and everything. We'll look at all pieces like that too, and so again, they kind of take all that into mind when trying to plan out new features and things like that.
And we do always ask for as much feedback as possible, like from anything. So.
Yep. I mean, with inFlow being kind of like an out-of-the-box program, we know it's not going to be able to meet every single person's needs, but we try to have it as broad and have as many options and stuff like that available. So for sure, any of that feedback is definitely greatly appreciated. And I saw Bakhan in here asking, can we add expiration date purchase order? I mean, at the moment, our program doesn't have a way to track expiration dates. So I don't believe so. I know it is something that's been being talked about as a possible future, I guess, like project. So hopefully in the near future, we'll be adding things like that. I'm not sure. Maybe you could explain a little more what you mean by like an expiration date on a purchase order itself. I think in our broader conversations, it's usually been on like products. So unless that's maybe what you mean.
Yeah, if you need a like product expiration dates, I think that's what we've been considering. If it's something else, then definitely let us know. More details would be helpful so we can consider it.
Yeah, for sure. And again, if you aren't able to type it here, if you email us at support@inflowinventory.com, we'll definitely we'll respond to you, let you know, and we'll record any of that feedback. So.
Hmm. And some of you I can just direct message later after this stream so that in case I need to get more details for any questions that you had. So I could definitely do that too.
Cool.
Oh,
Okay.
so he confirmed. Bakan mentioned product expiry. Okay, we'll definitely add you to that request list because we do have a few customers who definitely have asked for that feature.
Yeah. I think kind of right now the only way that we've had some customers kind of working around it, and this won't work for everyone, but we do have an article up on our site. How can you track lot numbers, batch numbers, or expiration dates? And this kind of uses like a workaround to use sublocations as your expiration date. So you would still be tracking your inventory in your main location, but then in a sublocation, you would actually create a new sublocation every time you needed a new expiration date itself, and that sublocation would be named, say, for instance, December 31st, 2020 or something like that. And then that way, when you are selecting or looking at your stock, you can see all those sublocations and you can see what those kind of expiration dates are. Again, this won't work for everyone because this means that you are using your sublocation for that purpose. So if you can't then say I have my location warehouse in aisle 1 or something like that. It would now be warehouse and then the expiration date. So so we are hopefully in the future going to have a better solution for that, but that is kind of like a one kind of like workaround that I know a lot of our customers have used as well. And I don't know if you want to post that article in there too, if they wanted to take a look.
Oh yeah, let me do that.
Cool.
This is a workaround, so it's not 100% tracking for expiry dates, but it's something that we've tried to offer.
Yeah, and again, yeah, like I mean, inFlow is an out of the box program, so unfortunately, all these kinds of like customizations and stuff like this is again kind of workarounds that other people have used that have worked for them. So for the meantime, hopefully it might help you as well. Otherwise, as I said, we will for sure still record that feedback and put it towards kind of upvoting that project to hopefully add actual expiration dates to our products as well.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. And yeah, so Kerisha just posted the link to this article in there too. So if you want to take a look at it and go over, see if maybe it would help you in the meantime, then hopefully that can help.
Okay, sounds good. Well, it doesn't look like there's any more questions. So I guess we can call it for this final webinar of 2020.
Cool. Well, thank you again, everyone, for joining us. We really do appreciate it. Yeah, that would definitely be a good feature. So hopefully we can add that in there for sure. But yeah, again, thank you for joining us, and hopefully you learned a little something. And again, any feedback or comments or anything like that, you can leave them here. Or you can always send them into support@inflowinventory.com. And yeah, again, thank you, and we hope you have a safe and a happy holidays. And yeah.
All right. Thank you, everyone.
Have a great afternoon.
Bye.